China. In 2019, I announced that to you on another Anzac Day. In 2020, we were locked in our homes, in the front yards, observing Anzac Day from there, locked under martial law with the distraction, diversion tactic of a flu, a virus, and vaccination issues have arisen from that to divide and conquer the people into pro and con. Now, who is doing this? There are 200 families ruling the planet at the moment, and those families aim to divide humanity and downgrade humanity by GMO into a caste and class system, making themselves and their own relatives as gods on the earth. We are told in many places, particularly in the Bible, that that will not happen. We're guaranteed of that, but we have to do some work. So all I saw today in the Anzac service was messages of peace, about beating swords into plowshares, and ignoring the fact that this is not a time of peace and we should not be crying for peace, but that we should be preparing and making each other aware for a time of war. This is war. It is a quiet war, employing the use of silent weapons. There is another verse in the Bible that says we ought to be turning our plowshares into swords. There is a time for all things, folks. And that came to mind because those were the speeches that I was hearing today. They were biblical speeches. Of course, the attack on humanity is multifaceted. It is in the atmosphere with nano particulates, smart dust, also in the water, in the food that we drink. We're drinking and eating genetically modified foods and fluoride. We have electromagnetic frequency weapons all over the planet. Saturated. We're saturated in this, and the human organism is dying, but we blame ourselves. Oh, you know, my hips are bad, my heart is bad, my lungs are bad. It's got to be me. I'm getting older, or I'm just I was born unlucky. None of those things are happening. Well, they are happening, but then none of those things are your fault or my fault or anybody else's fault, except the traitors that rule our nations. Our democratic nations are being ruled by traitors that are adamant about a depopulation program. So it is about depopulating the planet. It is about doing that rather quickly in the next couple of years. It is called Agenda 21, and it is a multifaceted attack. Anzac Day is an appropriate day to be giving you this message, and I ask that you, if you see this video, if you hear this video, share it and stand on your feet, use your voice, make others aware, make your neighbors aware, and wake the world up, wake the democratic nations up. The two mechanisms that are being used against us are communism and Islam. And who's doing it? 200 families that are ruling the world, monarchies and pedophiles, and they are employing and engaging traitors within our own nations, our governments, and seats of high power. Fear is the mechanism that they use, and the social credit point system is here, alive and kicking, well underway, and we're going to see it by the end of this year. And it will be introduced openly through violence on the streets and other places, non-compliance to these distractions about vaccinations and other things. I hope you can grasp this message. I hope that you take that message seriously and that you pass it along to other people. Awaken your neighbors and your fellow citizens. Bye for now. We'll talk again another time.